let's take a step back to look at the tension between a free press and allegations of libel. Like way back when the British ruled America in 1735 and the case of John Peter Zenger.
John Peter Zenger was a publisher in New York, and he was a strong critic of the British rulers who were appointed by the king and who ruled New York as a kind of colonial fiefdom.
He published this diatribe against the governor.
And at the time, libel laws were written to protect the people in power.
They tend to favor established people with strong reputations and strong presence in the society. So the king, the king's justices, the richest guy in the country.
So when the governor of New York hauled John Peter Zenger before a jury, the law was on the governor's side. In fact, at the time, it didn't even matter if what Zenger had published was true or not. If it damaged the governor's reputation, Zenger was guilty of libel.
The judge told the jury, if you find that this man published this article, you have to find him guilty.
But the jury ignored those instructions, and to the cheers of the crowded courtroom, the jury found Zenger not guilty.
The jury said, basically, we don't believe that truthful information should be punished under these circumstances.
And the jury refused to convict Zenger. Zenger was acquitted, and that was the beginning of press freedom in the United States.
It speaks to the tradition in this country that we speak truth to power and question what people in authority are doing.
John Peter Zenger's fight to print the truth about public officials started a free press in America. And a half-century later, that press questioned the king during the American Revolution. When it was over, the framers put that freedom in the Bill of Rights.
The First Amendment provides that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. And it's in that guarantee that the freedom of both speech and press are embodied in the First Amendment.
The only way a democratic government can be controlled is if there's an informed populace. Jefferson said, democracy presumes a virtuous, enlightened people. And enlightened means you have to be informed.
So the Constitution gave the press the freedom to print the truth about public officials. And over time, laws about freedom of the press and libel developed in each state. No major freedom of the press case reached the Supreme Court until the 20th century.
Before Times v. Sullivan, there was really only one important free press case, and that was in 1931 in a case called Neer versus Minnesota.
In Neer versus Minnesota, the court ruled that government officials couldn't use prior restraint. That is, they couldn't prevent the press from publishing stories before they came out, except maybe in times of war.
Neer versus Minnesota is the case that stands for the proposition that the government cannot shut you up in advance.
But government officials still had the option to sue for libel if something in the article was inaccurate or untrue.
The general principle is they can't shut you down, but they can punish you later.